I got you. Or that.
I don't have a red mark like you do.
Should I should pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. I would take approval of the agenda in the minutes, please.
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Rich on there yet?
Yeah.
Was he not gonna be on there? He's doing Mitchell County.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's what Russ said.
Meeting this morning, okay.
Oh, wait, he's just coming in.
Is it?
Yeah. Let me just get him in.
And then also come by.
Okay.
And make sure not sure they come
Am I late?
You there, Rich?
Yeah, am I late?
We'll let you in.
I didn't know what was going on. I had it set to turn on and it just wasn't going. And then I looked at it to click something else. So I don't know if you're waiting for me or not.
Yeah. Well, we're ready to go. What you got going on?
Well, we have that amendment on the agenda there to discuss for the wind tower thing. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at it. I emailed it to the county attorney here a week or so ago. So did you guys read through it and have any issues?
I do. I'm not 100% familiar with the old. What's the amendment? What's the change?
Well, this is, I think they're adding this to the agreement. I don't think they had a way to evaluate the hard service roads. I don't think they had any before. They didn't have any hard service roads that they were using. Well, other than Thrush, I don't know if they had very many roads they were using to haul on, but they wanted a way to evaluate the life expectancy or the loss of life due to their operations. So they're adding a clause in here that states how they want to reimburse the county.
Okay.
And it appears that this granular equivalency, and I don't have a better way or know of a better way to evaluate, other than going out and looking at the road before and after to know what's been done to the road as far as overweight loads or traffic, but roads don't always show that stuff right away. So what they're doing is, I don't know what kind of testing they do. They must do a falling weight deflectometer test or something similar to determine what the road condition is like prior to and then after they're done with the construction. And this is just a way for them to figure out a formula to reimburse the county for degradation of the road due to things that we cannot see.
Okay.
Should make them just as good or better as they were before.
Right. And yeah, I know that, they'll look at some of the roads and say, okay, well, they'll look at Thrush and say that Thrush has, it's an older pavement, so there's not much life expectancy left in it. So whatever they take out of it, there might not be much reimbursement on that road because the life of the pavement's already approaching its 20 years or whatever, that maybe they took the last 5 years out of it. However they determine that, it's something that I've tried to do research on, and I don't quite understand how they do it, but I know Minnesota must do it a lot. So, but I mean, it's better than any idea I've got on how to determine the expectancy left in the road. So I think it's probably a good thing for us to at least have something to get reimbursed for their use of the hard service roads. The gravel roads are something completely different. They're easier to evaluate because we know just by looking at them how bad they can get. So,
Right. So I mean, that rate that they're showing, does that seem like a fair rate to replace?
$5,200 per tenth of an inch per mile, probably pretty fair when you think about it's hard to me, it's hard to say. It's what are, you look at the equivalency of a granular road, and at $5,200 per tenth of an inch per mile, that's a pretty decent payment. for just gravel. Now we're talking about a hard surface road. So, I mean, if you're looking, you know, I was going to do a quick calc here. I mean, you can look at it if they're, you know, if they think that they're doing, you know, they took the granular equivalency out of maybe 3 inches worth of life out of the hard surface pavement, they're looking at $156,000 a mile of a hard surface road. So it just depends on how those numbers end up in the end. It's probably based on there was no calculation for depreciation of the road or loss of life. So I think it's probably
Still there? You're all staticky. Something going on with you?
I just cut the cable.
Well, like lady.
is it still good or am I completely gone?
Now you're good. Yeah, you were just pure static there for a few seconds.
I put the cell phone closer to the computer and I wonder if that wasn't causing problems.
Yep,
Good.
that's what you did last time too. So throw that stuff back.
So anyway, I think it's the only idea I have, and it's for dollar amounts. I think it's probably going to be pretty decent. I mean, I'm sure we're going to see more than a tenth per mile for the paved haul roads. So you're looking at, it's new to me, but it's a way for them to pay for the damages.
Sure. So you think that basically if Thrush is pushing the end of its life cycle, are we able to repair that road for that money?
Well, you got to consider what they're going to do damage to, you know.
Sure.
If that pavement, and I don't remember what age it is, but if it's 19 years old and they take, you know, they didn't take the 19 years out of it, you can't expect them to completely cover the cost to replace the road when our own traveling public depreciates the life. You know, they're going to only pay for what it takes to get to the, you know, they're looking at a 20-year design life, looking at the easels that the road has seen up until they move in, and then comparing the easels at which they use the road and determining whether or not, you know, how much life they've taken out of the pavement and pay accordingly. So
They just repaved the Minnesota stretch up there a little bit from the state line to.
and sometimes they'll do that if they know the pavement isn't going to be able to take their loads. So, I mean, AJ, the answer to your question is they're not going to be able to pay to completely repair the road. That's not the goal, because
Right.
they aren't going to be like use Thrush an example. They're not using the entire life of the road prior to them being on here. That
Yeah.
road has already depreciated its life, you know, a certain percentage of its life already. So,
Well, I guess my question is, I mean, obviously I get that it's probably to its last point of its life cycle, but by them running those heavier trucks up there, is that gonna completely destroy that road? Then we're gonna have to pave it as soon as they're done?
Yeah, when were you thinking that, where's that one on the list? You know,
Right.
Rich?
I'd have to look back at my annual budget. I mean, I think it's probably in the 5-year. I just don't know if it's 5 years out. You know, things are always changing every year anyway.
Yeah,
We look at we look at pavements every year, and if one needs to be bumped up, we need to bump one up. And if one pushes back, we push back. Or I hate to say the naughty word, but there's always TIF if we need to stimulate the budget a little bit with some money to do some roads that are depreciating, wearing out faster than we'd like, then we'll, you know, there's other options. But this isn't going to be a payment. This isn't a payment to just blanket.
New road pavement.
It's to pay their
with
fair.
this fall,
Right.
with this fall coming, when they're all done, and we're gonna have a junk road in the fall, and then we're stuck.
You know, I want to doubt it. I mean, we had a pretty bad road here in Mitchell County that got used quite a bit, and I think for the most part the roads are going to hold up okay. They're just not going to last as long as we planned on them lasting. So I don't think we're gonna see. I don't think we're gonna see them. Go ahead.
They might be hauling heavier loads, but they're still limited to axle loads, aren't they? Just like
Yeah,
everybody else.
they're still running they still permit their oversized, overweight loads on legal axles.
Right.
The only thing that's gonna be big is probably, when you think about the components, the generator heads are the heaviest, and then of course some of the crane equipment that they bring in, but they've still gotta be legal loads to be traveling down the highways anyway. It's easels, it's estimated single axle load, equivalent single axle loads is what they're calculating, and it's not, it's the repetition of the loads, it's not necessarily the weight of the loads. Single axle legal loads.
They're not exempt from, I mean, right now, I think commodities and things are exempt again by the governor to go to 90,000 pounds. They're not, so farmers are probably actually hauling heavier axle loads than they will be.
They're not exempt from any of the weight restrictions for getting permits and whatever else. So it's just that what they're saying is you're gonna see more frequent truck loads on the roads than what you'd normally see in a rural area. So what they're doing is paying for the increased traffic,
Okay.
and then what that traffic does to the road.
Okay.
That's not too bad, plus probably using tips, so.
Right. Okay, I just want to, like I said, I'm not real familiar with the old agreement. I just want to make sure we're covered
The
on
old
our end,
agreement didn't really have anything in it other than go out and look at the road and see if we need to fix it. I know the last wind project you guys had in Worth County, I wasn't here for, but I drove the road when I was going back and forth to Mason City, and I don't know what agreement that was, other than I remember there were some heavy loads that sat on the asphalt roads, and by the time they moved those trucks, every axle of that truck had depressed the asphalt and left a hole, and they came back and bubble patched them. So I mean, that was back then, that was how they fixed things. Now we're going to look at it from a standpoint of, first of all, if there's visible degradation, but also a testing of structure at the end versus just a visual evaluation.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, I'm just trying to look out for us.
Yeah, I know, and so am I. It's something new for everybody, at least us, and it's a way to get reimbursed for them using the road.
Yep. So that's basically what the amendment is we're now going to get.
They're just adding this clause into it. They're not taking anything away from before.
Right. Okay. So it is a benefit for the county then.
Yeah.
Good. I agree with that. So would you like us to approve this amendment then?
Yeah, you're gonna need. You're gonna need to do that so they can get going. And
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to the road agreement.
Okay, there's a motion by Mark,
Second.
second by Ken to approve the amendment to the road drainage easement agreement with
Northern
Freeborn
States
one.
Power Company
Northern States Power Company, that's right. And the Board of Supervisors of Worth County
as trustees for the drainage district.
as trustees for the drainage district, so. All right, there's a motion, a second, any other discussion on it? I'll do a roll call. Abrams?
Aye.
Maybe.
Aye.
Stone? Aye.
I had RC and Tom went up to Minnesota to look at that loader. We've been talking about a lot of restrictions, so that was.
Something's wrong with his internet connection.
Yeah.
It said unstable here a little while ago.
We lost you there, Rich, again, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
That loader probably won't be coming until next fiscal year. So we're still looking at about $50,000, and that includes the deliveries.
Is it gonna fit in the building?
Yeah, I think they said it would. So we'll find one to fit it in. If it don't,
Okay, good.
for the money, it's a pretty good buy. So
Sure.
they're pretty fast. I know Tom went and looked at it, and it's a pretty tight machine. There's one little leak in the hose, I think, is all they found that was bad. So that's easily fixed for the money. I think even if we can sell that snow equipment, we'll get some of our money back. So
Sure, okay.
And then just one other thing, I'm gonna be out next week. I'll be gone, so won't be available for the board meeting. But guys up to date by emails or anything if something comes up.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Anything else for Rich?
Nope.
Anything else? You got anything else for us, Rich?
I'm good for now. I'm gonna go light speed to my other board meeting, so
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
take care.
All right. Drainage. So it looks like we need to change the date of DD 22, Lat 10 and 10B landowner meeting.
That was set for June 8th, and I'm guessing we're not gonna be ready for that,
No.
because people won't wanna show up. So I'd say at least,
Well,
I'd say at least,
About July, we're still sick, no way to fully.
be July 6th, or we go to the 27th. Because we have them on the 13th and 20th so far, if we get to have those.
With our other from last week. Okay. Let's go, since this is a landowner meeting, let's go to the 27th. Try it for now.
well, I mean, that's what they set them up. I guess if there's a whole lot of objections. People want to try it. That's, we should try it.
Well, we just need to find it.
But they need to talk to somebody.
Right.
I mean, there's instructions,
I know.
we've all had to figure out stuff we don't
Right.
want to do, and
I think all in all, it works pretty good. Even the little bit we did last week, I think would have been just fine if people would have joined in.
it's a call and a code.
And we've had people calling in meetings for years and actually, it works.
So just organization is keep the meetings as smooth as the tricky part. But let's try that. July 27th at 10 o'clock.
Sure,
Any motion on that?
yes, please.
So moved. Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, motion on this by Abrams, second by Smithy to change the date of DD 22, that 10 and 10B to July 27th at 10 a.m. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion will carry.
Okay, now this next one, annexation public hearing for DD 54. This is the one that the newspaper didn't include in the first run. So technically, they have a meeting at 10. So I don't know if we just stay on for a little while and see if anybody shows up, or
Sure.
just forget about it, because the majority of whoever would have been at the prior week
The other one
Yeah.
anyway.
would
rest
be
of it.
covered by this too.
Yeah.
So it's just a technicality.
Well, we can, I mean, I don't, you guys want to hang around or just see if
Yeah,
anybody does call and then
yeah.
we'll just,
I can-
All good.
If you leave, it's fine. We got 2 weeks, still got a call.
Yep.
Yeah,
we'll do that just in case anybody does call in or whatever, and then we can just continue that to the 13th with the rest of them.
Yep.
Good.
and I got,
We need we got drainage plans.
Claims.
Yeah, we got the paper in there.
All kinds of,
mhm.
with all the advertising or newspaper
Mhm.
fees. Okay, take a motion to approve the,
Drainage claims. I'll make a motion to approve the drainage claims.
Yeah, by law, we still have to do that because
Yep.
COVID stopped, because they were trying to get through that we didn't have to publish that for
Right.
reclassifications and stuff, and it got stalled, so.
They're still working on that.
yeah.
Second.
okay, there's a motion, a second to approve the drainage claims, which is pretty much all the newspaper stuff needed for annexation meeting last week. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
All right.
Aye. Opposed? Motion will carry. Somewhere. There it is. All right. That's it for drainage claims and drainage.
Okay.
Okay, any regular claims?
They're coming, it'll be a little while.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Joel, fiber to the treasurer's office.
Sure, yeah. So, we found some things out, thanks to the sheriff. Appreciate his effort. We have 24 pair of fiber that run from the courthouse to the treasurer's office. That was put in 2004. And that is owned by us. And because of the construction happening across the street, we have learned that that is not an alleyway, that is private property. So it sounds like, with everybody talking to the owner over there, that we are probably going to find a solution. They're going to let us put our fiber through their building. So I think we're in pretty good shape. That fiber is getting a little bit of end of life, but I think we can still utilize it. We've got a lot of traffic running through that to the treasurer's office. For state stuff as well as phones and everything else. So if that gets cut, if that gets done, or if that is no longer functioning, then we can actually lease fiber from one big telephone. But there's that lease cost, and right now, we've got that asset already in the ground, so we'll continue on. So I appreciate everybody working on that project and getting a resolution for that.
Yep. No, that's our only choice, and they're okay with us leaving it there where it is for now, and
if they're happy, we're happy.
hopefully the next time we deal with this, we just move the treasurer over here, go to the facility, right?
Works for me.
Deal with it, so. Yeah, I guess worst case, we got our backup plan with WCTA.
Yep.
So, okay, good deal. Perfect. Cheryl Furley requests the use of courthouse grounds.
She's not gonna be on, but this has been an annual request that they'll be somewhere on the grounds, I don't know, and it'll be, well, it didn't sound like that was, because everybody's gotta stay away from each other and everything, so it might just be random people that come up here, plop down a chair, read a chapter and go on their way.
Won't be as
So she
heavily
asked for a
attended.
little bit more time than before, but that's supposed to, she's hoping I'll wrap it up.
I so move.
I will second it.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to allow the courthouse grounds to be used for a Bible reading from June 27th through July 5th. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion will carry. We'll keep rolling until we're ready for our budget amendment, right?
Jason has a letter for you to sign. He wants to talk about that maybe.
Jason Petersburg, we're gonna skip to you next. Get 7 minutes. Got enough time?
Yep. Quick update, not a lot going on out there, obviously, with the weather. See it quits raining here, it dries up enough to start working. June 3rd is the planning and zoning meeting. We are on that agenda. We did get that set. And then I'd sent AJ or Jackie a letter that we need to submit to the DNR for the sanitary sewer permit, for sanitary sewer construction permit. DNR says any manhole spacing over 400 feet, the owner has to say that they're capable of cleaning it while you hire a company that cleans your sewer mains anyway. So with today's technology, I'm not a bit concerned. We're up to, I think, 450 is our maximum distance. So it's not, to us, it wasn't worth adding another manhole in there. So that's all I had for today.
Okay.
Motion is approved signing the letter, I think.
It's just part of the
It's part of the
process.
process,
isn't it?
yeah. It's just part of the DNR permit agreement, which I've already signed. You
Okay.
guys gave me permission to sign before, so. This is just basically,
I didn't put it on the agenda,
Yeah.
thinking it was
no,
just,
this is just us saying, yes, we agree with this, we can get it
I
cleaned,
appreciate
so. So yeah, I'll just sign it and it's part of that agreement anyway, so.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else, Jason?
Oh, any questions for me?
It's looking good out there. That hill's disappearing.
Yep.
You start to see a little.
Starting to disappear. We do need to have a meeting with the casino. There's some questions that they have on their overall site plan. I think they've been communicating with Jeff on that. I want to get that moving sooner than later. obviously they're gonna start wrapping up dirt work around there, and if there's anything specific that they want us to do as part of that site grading, I'd rather not have to do something twice, so.
Right,
Get something
exactly.
this week.
Alright, do any of us need to go to that planning and zoning, or you just gonna go there as our representation then?
It's Ken went to the first one. Wouldn't hurt as the owner. You'll be
Okay.
approving it again. It's a Zoom meeting.
Okay. You wanna,
I could either do it, I can do it.
otherwise I can do it too, I guess it don't matter to
sure.
me.
Okay, it's up to you.
Just send me the information, or me or AJ, one of us.
I'll send the invite.
I'll forward it on.
Okay, thanks.
Sounds
Yep.
good. Okay, thanks, Jason.
Yep.
Melissa, am I doing?
She is, yeah.
Winworth Betco, Melissa.
Just the tourism budget I cut a little bit, and we're only inserting into the local papers, which should be next week or the week after that. But other than that, there's just been a lot of people are seeing the construction at the interchange and calling with inquiries and just wondering what's going on. So that's good news.
Yeah, it is. It is, so. Are you working in the office a couple days a week yet, or?
I'll be starting on Thursday. There's a couple of things that we got to wrap up at the end of the year for school, and then Thursday should be back in the office. Wednesday night, hopefully, because that shipment's coming on Wednesday night, so I'll come in after hours.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Any questions for Melissa? Is that it for us?
Yep,
All righty, thank you very much.
you bet.
Any reports, Jackie?
So we did miss something on tile, or on drainage.
Yeah,
Want to go back to
Yeah.
drainage? Oh,
just said,
Forgot that.
have a request, and I guess.
yeah, there's a request for repair on, tri-joint 17 lateral 2E, Turtle Township.
50 total dollars is on about 10 grand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 800 feet of 8-inch tile to replace.
they're on the thresholds, I guess if they want to get somebody in there and fix it, I'd say get it
Yeah.
fixed. So it's kind of up to them who
Right.
Right.
leave it up to them who they hire. That way they're-
It's under the thresholds of having it engineered, so if they're just replacement, it's just, there's no improvement,
it's
right?
maintenance.
Maintenance on it, okay. Guess we can just contact them and let them know that, they can get it replaced for that price. They can get it replaced.
Get it fixed, yeah.
Nah.
Have Russ do a work order on it.
Yeah, for sure, it's a work order. There'll probably be another one coming from that area down there too. Paul Tennell called about a blowout. It's a yearly issue. And he's just gonna, I said, get it fixed. I said, just make sure you got a work order on it. Somewhere in that vicinity down there. I'm not
Okay.
exactly sure where it's at. But
So are we gonna end up with more problems?
no, I don't think
or-
it's the
no?
same line.
Okay.
It's a different line. And I think some of it has to do, as telling Paul about, they've been asking about that. So the district down there, they're talking about maybe us taking over
Mhm.
and need some work. I said, maybe your outlet's forced, that's your problem. He was maybe gonna check into that, but, so it just continually blows out up above is what's happening. But it's just we're talking small, 500,
Mm.
few feet maybe, yeah.
Mm.
Nothing major.
Okay,
Any recess?
it is 9 o'clock. I'll take a motion to recess the regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor, aye?
All right.
Aye, opposed? Okay, so the meeting is recessed, then we will now open our fiscal year 20 budget amendment hearing. Take a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor, aye?
All right.
Aye. All right, the hearing is open for the fiscal year 20 budget amendment.
Okay. Have you guys seen it yet or no?
Okay, so
Basically what I put in here is I didn't know when we were gonna have to pay for the imaging.
Right.
So I plugged that, I guess, and then in for that. The revenue part is what we'll get from the WCDA. And I put in 250 because I couldn't remember what, hopefully that's close-ish.
Sure.
And conservation received, $9,800 into their, fund to do something for the bike trail. I can't remember what it was for sure,
Oh,
but they'll be
big study, I
paying,
think.
yeah, some study, so, I put that revenue in, and then it's on the other side. Also, the rest of it is, there's stuff in your budget. The one thing that, it was an error on my part, I didn't up your, health insurance to the $928 per month, so that's almost $3,000 that you were gonna be short no matter what, so I put that in, so that wasn't gonna be off. And then I put, not knowing what newspaper is gonna be, I put another 2,000 there just in case, it might not get spent. And not knowing on training and education and stuff, I put another 2,000 there. And I also put another 100 for civil service, because that ran through again, and just wanted to line it up a little better. Rich gave me some numbers for secondary roads to bump a few things up because of when projects were hitting and stuff like that. Jim in conservation gave me some numbers for the one that we talked about, a vehicle capital outlay, and land improvements of $61,635. Medical examiner, I put in another $5,000, just not knowing if, hopefully we don't use it, but that's one that I never know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
General services, we paid a lot more in especially in April. I think it was $2,000 just in April for cleaning supplies and stuff. So I bumped that up $3,000, not knowing what the next month. General services, I also bumped up repairs a little bit because we never know what that's gonna do either. There was a little extra in the wind farm TIF fiscal agent fees, so I bumped that up $1,000. I put $750,000 in, not knowing what we'd spend for that before the end of the year. Hopefully that covers that. And then the last one is a commitment that you guys made after the budget for the city of Joyce, and we need to cut them a check before the end of the year to make it a fiscal year 20. Yeah, so total money in is 239,509, and money out is 1,779,90. Which, like I said, this is all budgeting is all a guess. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping we don't spend all this, but
Yeah,
I want it to be in there just in case it happens.
yeah.
And the bigger ones, secondary roads has their own fund, and TIF has their own fund. So other than that, it's pretty minimal effect on like the general fund and rural and stuff like that. So I am not too concerned about this. I'm more concerned if we end up spending the whole budget that's already there.
Right.
And
Right.
and not get the casino money in and stuff like that. So
Well, as far as the big portion of that and with the development, we shouldn't spend nowhere near that money, and I'm sure, I don't even know, Jason, you still on there? Can you jump in for just a second?
Yeah.
Have you seen have they submitted any bills to you yet? Any of the contractors out there?
we have the first one that you're gonna approve today.
Okay.
That's 90 some thousand dollars. So.
Okay, we should be nowhere near that 700,000 before the end of the fiscal year, should we?
No, I'll have another one for you next week, and then you won't see one until July, so.
Okay, perfect. Appreciate that. Just to kind of give us an idea of what's coming. So thank you.
Because the money's there, it's just we gotta time.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't see it going that high, which is good.
Unless it stops raining.
Right. So, all right. Thanks, Jason.
Yep.
Okay.
So I guess if anybody from the public
Yep.
has any questions.
Now I'll ask if there's anybody on the line with any public comments. Feel free to unmute yourself and speak up with any questions or concerns with the budget amendment.
There's random numbers on there, but.
Yeah, it's Chris there. I think.
Okay.
I'll ask one more time if there's anybody out there, the public, with any concerns or comments on the budget amendment. Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve the fiscal year 20,
Nope.
or close the,
I move we close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
okay, there's a motion, a second to close the public hearing. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I move we resume the scheduled meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, there's a motion, a second to resume our regular meeting. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, our meeting is now resumed.
I move we accept the budget amendment as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, there's a motion, a second to accept the fiscal year 20 budget amendment. Any other discussion? I'll take a roll call on this. Abrams,
Aye.
Smithy,
Aye.
Stone, aye. Motion will carry.
You signed the first page, AJ signs all three of them.
No, okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Trying.
Doing scratching.
Okay, so people service. Chris on the line, do you have anything on discussion?
I just unmuted him.
Chris, are you there? Do you have any questions or comments?
Oh, Dan must have something.
Okay. Won't hear anything. We did reports, payroll eligibility, salary
No.
changes? Nothing?
Yeah, liquor.
Liquor license?
Happy time. Country view.
Two of them?
Dividends.
Happy Time
Oh,
Resort,
here we go.
Time flies.
Bracky's Country View Acres.
I'll make a motion to approve the liquor license.
Second.
There's motion and second to approve liquor license for both of these. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion will carry. Those licenses are approved.
This is first item next week. Haven't had any out there. Country view.
Socially safe.
Well, I had a couple of little tiny ones. He hasn't been able to serve liquor and stuff out there because of that.
Oh, yeah.
Department head
That's
discussion. Sheriff, Hank,
No, he's doing good.
any questions or comments?
Nothing for me.
Okay, thank you.
Do the recorders.
What you just said,
Yeah, said the shields should be here and installed.
Wednesday?
Yep.
Wednesday this week? Okay. Sounds good. Auditor,
No more ballots getting mailed out. Just whatever traffic wants to come in. That's all that
been getting some.
we're up to. We're pushing 1,000
That actually come back in.
early.
I was gonna say, that you sent out, okay.
No, over 500 have come back. So a little over half probably at this point. May have the next week to come back and we'll see what happens.
Cindy Thompson, Assessor's Office, you guys have any?
We're doing good here in the office. I do have a question since the wind farm was being was brought up just for the Board of Supervisors, and we may have to put it on the agenda. But do you know yet if they are signing up for the 427.26B ordinance so we can actually assess them locally? Because if they don't sign up for that, then it's going to be state assessed. No one has contacted me. We do have, you know, of course, until it's complete, but that's just something to keep in mind. I don't know if they have an option. I mean, if they choose not to sign that, then, you know, this wind farm coming in is going to be state assessed. So I want that just something to be just brought up because I have not heard anything. So
I thought we had an ordinance.
We have an ordinance. Or a,
Well, yeah, and it could be that, but I was reading the ordinance. I didn't see where they were, if they're forced to do that or if they have a choice. So I guess I don't know. I know that in order for them to sign up to be locally assessed, they have to fill out that paperwork. Otherwise, we can't locally assess them. So it's just a discussion point. We've got time, but it's just something I think just should be on our radar. So
we have one at the county level.
Yeah, they should fall under ours.
Which follows the states.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, I guess maybe there's something they need to fill out, but I would think they have to fill it out.
Yeah.
I guess it's,
Make sure we get them to get it filled out then.
if that's what they need.
well, and it's up to them. They've got to contact me. I don't have their direct contact number, so we've got time. I just wanted to bring it up that I actually have to have paperwork filled by them. So okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mark Tomlinson, do you have anything?
Nothing this morning, AJ.
Okay, thank you. Appears to be it. Joel?
Just the fiber stuff, so that got taken care of, so I'm actually happy for a change.
Yeah. Happy for a change. Hearing that. I think I got everybody that was involved there.
You on the sheriff or?
I already got him, he didn't have anything.
Oh, we didn't? Really? That's kind of surprising.
Okay, don't get started.
I got, we back up.
Oh, yeah,
to
claims?
Claims.
I got, regular claims and then a couple more payroll.
Okay.
Registers.
Motion to approve our regular claims.
So, second.
Motion and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
All right.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. And
Two more of those for the year.
motion to approve payroll.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
All right.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Now we're on to supervisor weekly reports.
I had nothing.
Mark, you have anything?
We had a Zoom call, Iowa Workforce Development, and we have them weekly now. Just kind of discussing, we're actually gonna have just a little bit more money to work with, I think, for our district for some reason. But we're just continuing moving forward, and everything's going good so far, so. We got lots to do before the end of the year, but hopefully we can get it all done by the end of the year, so.
Okay, perfect.
That's what I had.
Perfect. I didn't have a lot. I just went out and met with Mark and the DOT out at the water treatment plant just to show them the location of where we're putting that tornado siren. And they're fine with it. Mark has just got some paperwork to fill out to get a right-of-way work permit when they do that. So that'll be in July sometime. But
Who's gonna do the work?
the company we bought the
Okay.
pole or the stuff from, they're just gonna set a pole and then run power over to our building. So yeah, they're taking care of
Is
that.
that, who control, how does that get controlled in the sheriff's office or? who?
It will be just like all the rest of the communities. They send out a signal and that fires off they
Okay.
got their own radio signal. Just like the paging systems for the fire departments got their, for the pagers, they got a signal, and then the tornado sirens
Okay.
will send them off. So, and a lot of times, I guess like what we do it mainly is if we're out storm spotting, if something's coming.
All right, so in your,
Well-
if you're spotting, do you report back to either to the sheriff's office or who do you?
Yeah, we will. We'll report to the sheriff's office and have them activate our sirens.
Then they
if we feel it's
okay.
needed, yep. But, and then, so out there, it'll kind of be, based on what the National Weather Service is doing, and if we got stuff coming through that area, but yeah.
Yeah, you have spotters out. And you go from
Yeah,
there.
yeah, so, and then it'll be just, be another siren that's activated by a sheriff's office, so.
I should be able to hear it.
Yeah,
You should.
Should be able to, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and there's voice command or voice recognition on there, so I mean, they can send out an actual message for people that aren't from the area, that don't know how tornadoes work or severe thunderstorms kind of thing, so.
I was in Cedar Rapids when they had one go off one time, and it was a voice activated thing. Holy buckets! I got
Yeah, sounds like it's supposed to be really neat, so we'll
Yeah.
find out when it goes up and test it, we'll do the testing on it, so.
Yeah.
But that's all I had last week.
hopefully when they open casinos. Huh?
Hopefully before that.
Yeah.
Casinos open before that.
Yeah.
Anything else need to go on the future meetings? Everything's still
I think we bumped everything that we need to.
bumped everything and, yeah.
Oh, we did install the new data center storage array. Went really well, so no issues, no downtime. So.
Good deal. Okay, anything else come for the board? Take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So,
Second?
Howard.
Motion and second. All in favor, aye?
all right.
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
And I'm ending the meeting.
Yeah.